buenas noches, buenas noches. I am so happy that you are here tonight. Estoy muy feliz que estés aquí. Esta noche. Today I will be doing what I've finished reading in my to-read list, or I guess books that I currently have that I really want to read. This is really just for fun. So these books and my reviews of them, or like at least the ones that I've read, I don't know if they will be really helpful, but I really do enjoy watching these videos, just to see what other people are reading. So I hope that you enjoy and that you can relax. And yeah, well, let's go ahead and get started. The first book that I'm trying to see. The bookmark just fell. I keep my bookmarks in my books and then I take them out when I need them. But the first book, from what I've read, is the first book from the Bridgerton series. And this is the one with Daphne, the Duke, and I. I didn't really enjoy this book as much as I thought I did. Besides the fact that, Daphne's story is a little bit controversial. This is just one of those book series or books that I felt like the show really did better, which usually it's the book tends to be better than the show or movie. So if I was to give it a rating, I think I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. It's definitely not one of my favorite romance, but I do kind of love the period, like the period drama aspect of it. So yeah. Next. The next book that I've read so far is the first book from the Scythe trilogy. Scythe. The Scythe book is I would say like a sci-fi book. I get the words dystopian and, confused, but it's basically set out in the future where AI has taken over. And death is no longer a thing that happens to people. people are selected to kill people or murder people, so that they could keep the population under control. So I'll go ahead and read the back for this book. It says, "Thou shalt kill a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things, and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes only with a heavy price." So, I really did enjoy reading this book. I think towards the end, or let me not spoil it, but this one was an easy read, so if you're like into sci-fi and all that, this one's a good one. I think I'd give this one like a 4 out of 5. Start showing the books that I am currently reading, which I don't know about you guys, but it's very hard and difficult for me to stick to one book, because I just want to read everything that catches my attention, but I don't have the time to read every book, so I'm left with trying to read bits and pieces of them. So let's get started. You can see my bookmark here. I'm not that far into it, but I'm currently reading Mexican Gothic. My soon-to-be brother-in-law gave me this book, and this is one of those books that I really just gravitated towards because of the cover. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people say do not judge a cover or book by its cover, but I did with this one. Just look how pretty. A gothic horror novel. I don't really know much about it, besides the fact that it's set in 1950s Mexico. And so far I really like the main character. I'll go ahead and quickly read the back because I don't want this video to be super long, but from the authors of Gods of Jade and Shadow comes a reimagining of the classic Gothic horror novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. After receiving a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin, Noemi Taboada heads to a high place, a distant house in the Mexican countryside. Noemi is an unlikely rescuer She's a glamorous debutante, more suited for cocktail parties than amateur sleuthing. But she's also tough, smart, and not afraid. Not of her cousin's New English husband, a stranger who is both menacing and alluring. Not of his father, the ancient patriarch who seems fascinated by Noemi. And not even of the house itself, which begins to invade Noemi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. I'm at that part where it starts, where the dreams start. Noemi's only ally in this inhospitable place is the family's youngest son. But he may too be hiding a dark secret. As Noemi begins to unearth stories of violence and madness, she is slowly drawn into a terrifying yet seductive world, a world that may be impossible to escape. So, I have a good feeling about this one. I just, like I said, I haven't had the time. I'm juggling two right now, so. Next, I picked up the second. Scythe book called Thunderhead. 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 I am about, let me see. So this is my bookmark. It's a wicked one. So this is Elphaba's hat. But I am on chapter 6. I am juggling both. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, my bad. Okay, and last but not least, I have two. Not one, but two. Not one, but two. I have 2 books that are on my to read list as of right now. There is more, but I decided not to keep buying books until I am closer to finishing the last 2 I showed you. But this is on my to read list. It's still in its package, as you can see. I picked this book up when I went to California because I've been looking for this book, the first edition, for forever. Every time I went to the store, or like a bookstore, or even like comic conventions where, sometimes they have bookstores set up, it would be super hard for me to find the first one. And I know I could have ordered it, but I already have so many books that I was just kind of like wanting to wait until I found it. And I did, so I got the first book of the Princess Jellyfish series, I think. I don't know how many there are, but I had a friend in high school a long time ago. I had a friend in high school who would always talk about this series and how much she loved it. To my understanding, it's very it has some similarities to like the Ugly Betty. Oh my god, that's me right now. Look at me with my braids and my glasses. I didn't even notice that. Oh, I don't actually think that's me, but it has some similarities to the Ugly Betty show, and I love Ugly Betty, the novella version of it, and the one that came out in like the 2000s, the English one with America Ferrera. So that's why I picked this up, because I was like this. I was thinking that this would be super fun to read, and just look at the art. So this is on my to read list. I'm pretty sure I could finish this faster than any of the other ones, but I really promised myself that I would finish the other books and then move on. Okay, and the last book that I have, I think this is the biggest book that I've picked up in a long time, and it still has the Goodwill. I try to thrift all my books, but Barnes and Noble and other bookstores catch my attention a lot. But this is also on my list. The back really caught my attention, and I've been trying. Excuse me. I've heard some really great things about it. And I had a friend who read this book, who's not much of a reader, say that she finished this book so quickly. So I'm excited to read it because I'm a huge fantasy fan. So this is on my list. The thickness of it kind of scares me a little bit, but I'm sure I got it because the book just really, I was ready to just start, flipping through it, but I have other books and not enough time, so it's gonna have to sit here for a bit. I really like the cover. I don't even know if I've said the title, but the Priory, right? The Priory or Priori. Please correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Of the Orange Tree. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and you were just able to relax. This was my first video doing the soft speaking, so please let me know if you guys enjoyed. Did I say thank you already? Well, I'll say it again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you guys have read any of these books. If you guys have any recommendations for any books right now, what I really want to find is a really good romance. I think the last time that I read a romance that made me cry and was just, it didn't have a happy ending, but it really made me feel a lot, was the the Song of Achilles. That book was, I think that's one of my favorite books of all time. So if you guys know of any really good romance books, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you relax and get a good night's sleep, or we're just able to relax. I hope to see y'all soon. Buenas noches y que sueñes con los angelitos.